I'm going to minimize the presentation, and I'm going to kind of jump right into a couple of things. So the trade of the week, ZFGN. This was the email that you guys read that I believe happened on Monday. Today is Wednesday. So on Monday, we sent out this email. ZFGN was around $14.16. And we basically said that for a swing position, this looks like an amazing opportunity. Well, because of the kind of way it was trending. And we really, well, not only, I mean, our AI alerted us to it. So trade ideas, again, for you guys that don't know, is we have a technology that uses computers to explore the stock market. And by exploring, what we mean is we've been doing this for over a decade. And the stock market's kind of like the ocean. It's very big. There's a lot of things in it. But much like our water, it's kind of not explored in the way that you would think. I mean, we know the stocks that are in the stock market. And we certainly know, their financials to the extent that they're published. But there's so much volatility, so much that goes on in terms of supply and demand that largely the stock market's really not that explored by people. And at Trade Ideas, what we wanted to do is we wanted to create technology that helps you grow your equity by exploring supply and demand inefficiencies in the stock market. And so this ZFGN trade is one of those inefficiencies where it looks like it had just come down way too far too quickly and might be resuming the path back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this, and let's look at where ZFGN is now. And again, obviously, we knew that it was here. So since this trade, which happened right here, we are now up over a point in this trade. Because again, the momentum that got us in there has continued. Trade ideas, I mean, there's really two main things that I want to do with this webinar, and I want to kind of break it down for you guys in this way. I mean, you're here, and a lot of you a lot of you aren't subscribers to Trade Ideas, and I would really obviously like for you to be. And the ZFGN is our example of what we can do to get you to be a subscriber, but it's way more than that. This webinar is going to be kind of split into two different things. I'm going to be talking about why I think you should be using Trade Ideas beyond just the trade of the week, but we're not here to just, sell to you the whole time. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you stocks that, whether you're a subscriber or not, these stocks are on our artificial intelligence list of they could be getting ready to go. And we kind of split them up into three banks. Okay, you have trend change lubricant, small cap lubricant, and float on. Now, these names are designed to be a little bit, informative, catchy, but let's not worry about the names so much. Again, for everybody who is a customer and everybody who signs up today, you will be able to get everything that I have here. You will be able to get this whole list exactly the way I see it. So you saw ZFGN was this pattern where, and by the way, Trade Ideas has charts. I mean, we have everything that you need to really analyze the stock market. So this company was doing really well, and then in September, just some news came out. And again, I'm not even going to get into it because to be honest, I haven't read it and I don't really care. I was not in this downward move, although it would have been an amazing move to catch to the downside, and we do look for that. I was only aware of ZFGN, post this decline. And it caught my attention because of the way it was basing. It had looked like, from just a profiling point of view, that the supply and demand had really balanced itself out, and it started to pivot and go, and that's where, again, we averted it, and it continued, and we see this possibly going back up into the 20 and 25 area. So it's definitely not one to just throw away. So that's why so ZFGN got you here. Let me see if I can keep you here. Let's take a look. So PTCT, PTC Therapeutics, in the right industry. Look at this again, this change. Now, obviously, everyone's going to say, well, Dan, Why didn't you get me here 24 or all that stuff? Well, first of all, Trade Ideas customers have been aware of this. It's been, I mean, it's been in our software because we watch everything. But the idea is that you're trying to find these very, let me, hold on one second here. Markup. We just modified this, so I'm trying to remember trend line. Okay, so here, and then okay, so here we go. I know it's like I don't know how to use my own software, but I sort of do. Okay, so if you look at just from the point of view. Let's see right here. Hold on. So this trend right here was just broken right around 29. So 1, 2, 3, 4 days into the change, into the trend change lubricant, so to speak. And the real key is if it can break out of this area right here, like right above. So like at 36.30. You could see a tremendous influx as the whole momentum of this game changes for this stock. So that's PTCT. So the idea for me is I want you guys to be able to write some of these down and let's make money off of this. Energy is not my favorite sector, but if you look at the way the stock is trending right now, we also like what's happening here. I mean, especially the way it's moving, and see how it's just kind of wedging itself is what we call this. I'd really like to see it above here. Then also you could see a nice little run into 7, 7.5. And what you'll find, by the way, is because we already employ our AI pattern recognition in these lists, that's why all of them look kind of, similar because they're supposed to, right? So on here, you can almost see that once you're at like the 14 area, 1405, that's when the real momentum, could start coming in. BBD. I actually really like this. Again, it's a bank, so it's not going to trade like a biotech stock, but you kind of like see how it's in the middle of this gap. So this is, and look at this, look at the way it was trending from here, just, nice 5-minute bar, just doing what it's supposed to do. So these names are really good. Let's look at BCRX. This one is one that, again, I mean, this could be a monster. Okay, let's just say it right there. This could be a monster because, I mean, look at the way that it was just tearing up from 9, tore all the way up to like 16. And now has made it all the way back, which, by the way, reiterates the whole reason of why you should have trade ideas, why you should be here, and why buy and hold is so silly. Because news today gets maybe buy and hold worked in the 1930s or 40s, but probably not then either. But news gets digested and processed so much quickly today than ever before. So you need technology like this that shows you like when these imbalances happen. Like, look at this. I mean, this stock looked perfect, right? But then all of a sudden, just like cancer almost. Like the thing it's trying to fight is the thing that it gets. But all of a sudden here, right, this is called measured risk. If the trend in BCRX changes, right, the difference between where your top area is, which is right here, like around this area, 1030 to 890, I mean, it's so small that you can be in 500 shares of this on a swing trade and really not even be worried at all. That's why you're at this webinar, to see these kinds of opportunities. All right, and of course, we're back in Zaychen. It's not disappearing from our list. It's on our Trade Ideas Trade of the Week, and it's potentially really getting ready to go. Let's take another look. Aha, another one, RLGT, Radiant Logistics. Beautiful chart. I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing that we are searching for. That you want to be aware of this list for tomorrow, because this is what it's saying. It's if a stock could talk to you and say, hey, I think I might be doing something, this is what that looks like. Okay? So that's the first window, the trend change lubricant. Now we're going to jump to the small cap positive money lubricant, which is similar. Again, not the same, similar, but has different types of stocks, and we're just going to look at them because, again, the whole idea is how do we capture the most amount of alpha for us. And by the way, since so many of you are not Trade Ideas customers, Scott's going to give you an amazing opportunity to join us at, at rates that are perplexing, shall we say, to me at least. Okay, so here we go. PLX, small cap, starting again. If this is, we like to. It's just like a restaurant, Even AI has to be suited for you. Different people have different, price points of stocks. This one is one that is aimed at a little bit of a smaller stock group. SGYP. Okay, in the right industry. I really like the way it's starting to go these 2 days. I mean, this is, again, it looks good. You can definitely see a test of 7, so we like this. Definitely want to keep watching. So again, with Trade Ideas, remember, you can just quickly zoom in and out to see bigger picture, smaller picture. We have everything for you to make the decision, and I really like, again, the way you can see that this is what when you see trend changing, you see these higher lows. And that's what we're seeing here, and this is why, again, why I'm bringing this to your attention. Okay, let's look at mags. Well, this is what happens when one of them actually goes. Okay, it's a beautiful example of, look at this ROI. I mean, the percentages here are just, So look, here you have a stock, right? Is in a downtrend, starts to base, and then just boom, goes. That's what it looks like, right? And hopefully you're seeing that because I'm kind of bringing up these similar shapes, that this is what it looks like when technology is kind of geared for you as your laser sight on a sniper rifle, and you're trying to find the things that have the most potential. I mean, I can assure you, you will only hear about this kind of stock on CNBC after it has gone. Okay, so let's keep going. Again, energy. I mean, there's the interesting thing too is that what you'll notice is you're going to see the sectors that are starting to realign themselves. By the way, for anybody that is not aware of the crazy, look at this stock. KBIL after hours went from $2 to as high as $18 and is currently at $14.60. Yeah, that's what happens. And by the way, I want to talk to you guys about something. I mean, this is so critical. So let me just showcase a little bit about what we don't know about the stock market, okay? So people say that, well, everything's discounted, everything's not discounted, but KBIO is an example of, and I'm going to, hold on one second, properties. Oh yeah, because it's in here. Let me change the time frame to 15 minutes. Okay, so here's KBIO, and you can see kind of it behaves for the most part in a sort of similar way. Some bad news, from 2 all the way down here. Just a lot of nothing was going on in the stock. Then, I mean, it really then became like a penny stock for all intents and purposes. But what was interesting is that obviously something was starting to happen right here, because you can see the way the volume just started to behave totally different. And you can almost see this is what's called a footprint. Look at this volume, right? Not much happening here if you look at the chart, but look at this volume. Boom. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Now it's like completely changing its behavior, okay? And what happened was that some CEO announced that he's buying like 1 million shares, and obviously the CEO has relatives and a wife, and a wife has cousins and stuff like that, and this information things get out. And this is what it looks like when the behavior changes, and then all of a sudden, I mean, from 2 to whatever, wherever it ends up, it's an incredible opportunity. And it's something that everyone needs to see, not in the sense that this is what you chase, because this is like those people that tell you can become a millionaire by trading penny stocks. I mean, theoretically it's possible, but it's not going to happen to you. What this is the case of there is alpha. Alpha is something unusual happening. So someone was able to make like 700% in this crazy stock. These things happen. And with trade ideas, and this is what you're here for, you're going to be exposed to this type of information. You know, if you want to hear about Apple and Twitter and Facebook, which we do also cover, and we cover everything, but that's not where the big returns are happening. And those names are never where the big returns are happening. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's see. Whoops. Okay, so this one, let me change that to back to daily. So this one, again, you can see that the real entry starts getting interesting above 8. Definitely ITUB is definitely one you want to be watching above 8. And by the way, you know, here's something interesting. So I just downloaded a brand new version of Trade Ideas that we just released. For all of you who aren't customers, there'll be a version available for you. For all of you who are hopefully going to sign up today, and that should be everybody who's at this webinar. We just released this new version, and a lot of cool stuff is in it. There's sound alerts for our AI, so as soon as an AI signal comes across, you can hear it and not only have to be watching it. But the real key here is we have limit alerts that we're adding so that you can go to a chart. You can't do it in this version yet, but in a very near future, you can go to a chart, click on this, and right-click and say Add Alert for ITUB when it crosses above 8, and there's your entry signal. So we're doing this in a way where you can be at home going through all of these stocks, and you can say, hey, RNA, you know, it looks good, but for me, the real price is, I would say, above 253. And you can just keep going, you know, right from the chart. Well, here, one, you're right there. Code, by the way, COWN, Cowen Group, financial stock, looks very interesting, certainly for a move to 5. So now let's move to the next one, float. Okay, the float is how many shares. It's something that's not used a lot by the investment community, but for people who are active, it's simply a must, because the float is how many shares are out there for you and I to buy and sell. So for example, you can have a float of like 1 billion shares. If you look at like things like Oracle or Microsoft, they have billions of shares out there. Or you could look at like this company, like AXLV. Let's take a look. I'm going to expand this window. So this company, the whole float is 27.8 million. Okay, and it traded that and then some, 120% of the float. So to trade the whole float is crazy. Like that it doesn't happen that often, and you can sort and resort by stocks that are trading the float. So what's interesting, by the way, is this KBIO, right? Well, that was the one that that had that after hours. But here, look at the float on it. Let me see here. Shrunk it. Okay, whoops, here. So by the way, every window you have in Trade Ideas, you can modify it, you can move it. So here you have KBIO. One of the reasons why it ran up so much is it only has a 3 million share float, and if a CEO is buying 1.2 million of it, well, obviously, where are you going to get that much shares? Again, everything like that, like everything that's under, so this is another one, EFUT. This one was crazy, okay? Look at this move, okay? I mean, we've been on this for 2 days. Everyone at in our chat room that we have, which, by the way, as a free chat room for every Trade Ideas subscriber and people who are just interested to see what we do. We have one at the bottom here. You go to it and people are discussing trades and what they're doing, and it's a way for you to be kind of incubated. When you sign up with us, you can not only sit there and try to toil, but you have a whole community that's helping. Everyone's helping everyone make money, okay? Because it's fun. It's fun when you do it as a group. Weight Watchers, another one. But EFUT, if you look at the float, 2.92 million. Again, when you have that kind of volume in a small float, it's a mix for opportunity. So that's what we help you with. Again, you can sit there and be stuck in the Twitters and Apples and all of those forever. Like, look at the GoPro. Here's an example. GoPro has been so crazy. I mean, look at this move. Buy and hold. Really? I mean, at what point do you decide for yourself that something's wrong? Let's not be stuck in these kinds of things, Let's not do that. Let's instead take advantage. And that's what Trade Ideas offers, an advantage by being able to sit there and have the bandwidth and the ability to see the most interesting opportunities in the stock market. We have the most advanced technology for this. It's the most real-time. It's the best that you can do today. And as CEO, and again, I love coming on here and doing these webinars because I get to participate and talk to my customers. And I've said this for a little while now. I've never been this excited because we are just doing things that are amazing and things that you've never seen before. And this is the best and most exciting time to be in the stock market. The things that are happening technologically, they have never, ever happened before. And this is it. Again, this is the best time to be in it. Scott, why don't you come in, introduce everybody to how we run the business, and then I'll come back and really show them what's up with the artificial intelligence and how we use all of this to make money in the market.
Yeah, that sounds great. Why don't you put it on that slide with the pricing schedules? Yeah, so Trade Ideas, we're a software as a service company, and we operate on a subscription model. Our subscription starts at $99 per month, and you can get it for a year at $888, which is considerable savings over the monthly. This includes all real-time data, the exchange fees. It includes that charting that Dan was showing off. It also includes a full hour of one-on-one training, the Hour of Power training. In fact, as soon as you sign up for Trade Ideas, the best thing to do is to go to the support section, click on training, and fill out the form on the training page to schedule your training as soon as you can. Also included in the subscription is your ability to test the odds maker backtesting. There is no test for the AI, though. The AI does require the odds maker and AI channel access. So to purchase AI strategies and the odds maker, it's a one-time $1,100 license. It lets you find the trades that are performing in the market right now. It lets you backtest the entire market for your strategies and optimize your own strategies. You don't have to use the AI strategies. You can develop your own and optimize them using the same technology that our AI uses in the back end. There's no programming required at all for the backtester. It's unlike some applications similar to TradeStation that require you to program or only test a basket of stocks or one or two stocks. We're looking at all the stocks, or you can just segment by exchange or your own list if you'd like as well. Something I'm going to be able to offer after Dan comes back and does the question and answer period is an opportunity for all of you to save money who do not currently have Trade Ideas. It's a way for us to thank you for attending our webinars. We like to reach out to everyone and make sure that our community is supported. I'm going to turn you back over to Dan, and please direct all of your questions to the questions panel, and we'll try to get to those.
Scott, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to answer some questions. Okay. Gregory asked, how do you choose the best one, like ZFGN? Okay, so Gregory, ZFGN was not chosen by me. We have an artificial intelligence engine that every Monday basically says, okay, here is the stock that I think is the trade of the week candidate, and then it's basically, it's like a statistical assumption. It just makes that trade. So there, you don't know. I mean, you hope. Not every single trade of the week that we've done has been successful, but you hope the statistics line up and that it keeps going. Let's see here. So Jason Bond says it takes 2 years of training before trade. This seems to cut 80% of that. Yes. We are here to completely change the game of education and equities. We believe it's very difficult to scale having to just watch somebody do it or learning by watching somebody do it. So not that it's bad. I mean, any time that you can expose yourself to somebody who can consistently make money, that is a good thing, not a bad thing. But the difference is you have to get as fast through the curve as possible, and what we do there is we sick our computers on it. We make our artificial intelligence engine figure out what to trade. So I'm going to show you all of this in a second. So let me just read a couple more questions. Okay, so Leon, I'll show how the defense channel works. So I think it's just the icon that's new. We update the icons every now and again. So here, defense movers, defense stocks up the most since January 1st. Defense stocks up the most in 5 days, and again, we constantly try to adjust the channels to meet current demand. So whatever is moving, we typically try to cover it. Like Surge, for example, shows you as things come right into a stock. So I mean, if you want to see action, this will have action on it all day long. And the big difference, is, of course, is the artificial intelligence. So let's see here. Okay, so Gregory asked, was AI back-tested and how were the results? Okay, so that's a great question. So this window, okay, so you are on our AI channel. And in order to have our AI channel, to access this channel, there's a one-time fee of $1,100. That means you have the AI channel for life. It may sound like a lot, but when we're talking about making ridiculous money, it's actually completely free considering how much you pay for like an education. So the AI, what it does is, and again, I'm kind of lumping things together. These are strategies. Okay, so we have one called Mighty Mouse. There's one called Large Market Cap, the 5-day bounce, the wedge, power hour, shake the money maker, and sell into strength. So these are strategies that made it today, okay, into the strategy roundup, and there's 35 of these that compete every night to be selected. So the idea that way is because we have competing strategies, hopefully only what's working the best in the market right now will ever make it to the AI for tomorrow. So that's how, again, today, for example, just so that you know, we made 4.38 points. That means that if you take all of the trades where the money was made and lost, and these were all AI trades today, okay? And again, you can sort it from the morning to the afternoon. So here's how, I mean, so literally this is how the AI started. So the first trade in the AI was at 646. It was a short of Depot, and it was a 6-cent loss. It was a time stop. Then there was an 8-cent loss, a 3-cent gain, 9-cent loss. And again, these were, I think, set for probably 35 minutes or or see, yeah, so exit time. So these are kind of short-term trades. So it's either a stop got hit, so here another one, IMLN, we had a stop get hit, so that was only in for 6 minutes. So then we were in a short MBI trade, and here again you can just see the progress of what happened. So it was trading away, and then just continued all throughout the day to just get better and better and better and better and better, and then really turned it on towards the end, and had a very, very successful trading day. So this is something that you can expect to have potentially every day when you use the Trade Ideas AI. You will be presented these trades as they happen in real time. And you can kind of see, again, you don't have to take all of them. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opportunities like after the first 15 minutes, and then it starts to slow down. But here, 20 minutes between a trade. Today was very, very active. It's usually not that active. But the idea, too, is you want to be given or have access to a lot of opportunities. So this is the way that we see now people really starting to engage with the market, where you can follow an AI that's trading kind of like Moneyball style, instead of just sitting there and watching, somebody do it for you or try to do it on your own. Here you know that a computer has done the kind of homework that should at least make it reasonable and valid for you to attempt to take the trade. So what I'm going to add now is I'm going to go to the columns, and I'm going to show you, let's see, the performance. Hold on. So we have trades. I mean, again, there's tons of things that you can. Whoops. So here you have recent performance. So I just added that. So this is the performance of the AI that we tested graphically. And I'll go to another column, and I'll say win percentage. So these strategies, okay. So win percentage versus win percentage today. So this is really cool. Right now, the Trade Ideas AI is sitting there and it's crunching a gajillion tons of data to get ready to trade for tomorrow. So these strategies were the ones that made it, because before today, this was the success rate that they had going into this morning. So the wedge, which had 20 trades today and made us a lot of money, had a 68.2% win rate. It only did 55% today, but still was very profitable. Shake the Moneymaker had a 60% in historical, but an 80 today. That's what the kind of stuff that's just key. It's critical. Here's another one that the 5-day bounce had a 61% tested, but today was basically 20% winner, just had one huge winner and kept good money management rules for the rest. And there's Mighty Mouse, the small one, where it had a 60% win rate historically, but only 45% win rate today, and lost money. So again, the win rates, this is why you are in the trades, and this is how they're performing. And what I want to say to you guys too is that this is kind of like something else that we were talking about at our other webinar. Think about this. There's no other vendor out there that's showing you, hey, here's technology, it's showing you what to do, and here's how it's performing right now in real time. Because that's scary. You know, I don't think a lot of people have technology that can say can beat the market. That's a pretty big, you know, thing to be able to say. So okay, so that's the thing that we're really here to sell. I mean, obviously we want you to subscribe, but this is the next generation AI. It's a computer that thinks and is trying to be a trader, and its only objective is to raise the account size. That's how we decided. We decided, listen, don't just win trades or whatever. Let's start by raising the account size. What's this computer going to do to make the equity in my hypothetical account that's running this AI go up? And we put in all of the rules for spreads and cheating so that, again, it's as realistic as possible. And here's the thing, the technology that this uses, okay, is, and Scott, I think, brought this up, is a technology that we call the odds maker, and we can, you know, give you an ability to set up anything you want on Trade Ideas. So for those of you, again, that haven't seen what we do, you know, I can search for anything. Like, for example, I can search for block trades. Okay. And I can say, okay, find me a block trade of at least 250,000 shares. I want the stock price to be above $10. And I want the average daily volume to be like at least 500,000 shares. Let's call it 5 million. Okay, and we're going to call this strategy Big Block. So these are kind of like the foundation points. Like, how is it that we are able to do the things that we're able to do? Okay, so here the stock is looking for big blocks, and here is one in Bank of America. Like right here, there's a big block. Okay, but I can then go and I can backtest the strategy, and I can say, okay, so when this block happens, or when a block like this happens, I can say, well, what happens? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days later. I mean, you can just ask that kind of question. Pretty interesting what it's doing, isn't it? So this is how our software tests and how our software figures out if something that you're doing is a good idea or if it's a terrible idea. And this is where we get access to these Moneyball type of statistics. This is the next generation. Again, we invented this specifically so that people who are exploring the equity markets on their own can have just a better way to do it. You know, so that they weren't constantly have to do things by trial and error. And with Trade Ideas, you're able to ask these complicated questions. You know, obviously there's something wrong with what's happening here. So how do I fix it, right? And the answer that we came up with is, well, instead of me toiling at it, why don't I have our system, our backend, our server room in San Diego not only come up with these incredible alerts that you can see in real time and act on, but why don't we put our programming power aimed right at the technology itself and have it come up with a strategy that it thinks can do the best today based on everything that it has done the day before. That's the best that you can do. Trade Ideas is at the best that you can do level. The system learns every night like a human, but the difference between you and I is you could maybe do like 30 or 40 or 50 stocks, and that's if you were like very good, and we're doing like 800,000. That's you know, that's the real deal. This is what is the difference. This is the Trade Ideas difference. If you're not looking at this kind of information when you're making investment decisions of how to allocate capital, and believe me, you need to be allocating it actively so you're not sitting there wasting your time in a trade that's down for 6 months, because that's just a complete waste of your time, your money's time, and opportunity cost. you're here because you're interested in the market. And if you're interested in the market, there's really no solution that can do what Trade Ideas is doing right now, not even close. The version that I just downloaded is version 4.0.32. I believe we have a link for everybody to get it. As soon as you subscribe, you will be trained, and we will be in the room tomorrow watching the AI. This is our third successful AI trade in a row, trade day. So again, I mean, incredible things are happening. It's up to you to figure out what you want to do with it. Scott, I think we're good.
All right.
Let me give you back the presentation.
Yeah, thank you. Something we like to do to thank everyone for showing up is, if you can put that on the next slide, please, Dan. Something we'd like to do to thank everyone for showing up to our webinars is offer people who are not currently subscribers a discount. You can use that code that you see highlighted there by Friday to save half off your first month, 20% off your entire year, or 30% off the lifetime oddsmaker license. Actually, I have that written down wrong. I believe it's 24% off the first year, actually, so I needed to update that slide. But the code is correct. It's QAWEB18. And if you direct your attention to your handouts panel in your GoToWebinar interface, there's a handy PDF there with the code on it. So you can just download that, and you will be able to have the instant savings. You can get the oddsmaker for just $7.70 if you're one of our subscribers that currently do not have the oddsmaker. This is a great price. It's a great way to save money. And I actually forgot to include a slide on this one. Dan, I'm going to kind of wing it here and send you a link to a
Okay, send away.
to another slide, because I actually forgot to put this in your in this presentation, because we brought this back. We had a there we go.
Did you send it to me yet? Or
not yet. Here, use the. Go to this. Oops.
Well, let me make sure. Does everyone have this? This is a very important code. Obviously, huge savings. So I want to make sure everybody has it.
Yeah. Open that other presentation that I just sent you the link to, and go to slide 5. It's from our earlier presentation today. Because we brought this offer back, I hadn't added it to the stack for the Trade of the Week webinar yet. This is really exciting because it lets you save $700 instantly and get the AI package and the odds maker all at once for just $12.88. So the odds maker by itself without a discount is $1,100. A full year is $888. This way, if you go to that bit.ly link, bit.ly, and that should be in your handout, /SAVE 700, you can type that into your address bar, you're going to be able to click through to purchase the full year and the AI for just $12.88. If you're currently a Trade Idea subscriber on the monthly plan, this is a great way to get into the AI and save money. So if you're already on the monthly plan, we can just switch you over. All you need to do is click through there and purchase this. Again, you're going to get an email in a couple of hours or tomorrow morning with all of this information as well. And we want you to go ahead and take advantage of this. The $12.88 price is only going to last until we actually release the AI as the stable version rather than as the beta. So this lets you get in as an early adopter at a fantastic.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be pulling that rate most likely in January. So this is, again, a big opportunity. The AI is shaping up to be the most exciting thing we've ever done, and we want to introduce you guys to some good savings to do it. So,
absolutely.
Scott, thank you, and thank everybody for coming this evening.
Any questions at all? If you want the windows that Dan was showing you, just email info@trade-ideas.com. That's our support email. And either Marissa or one of our helpers will take care of you and get you that information. You can contact Dan directly at Dan@TradeIdeas if you need to. Follow us on Facebook. We sometimes post some things on there that we don't give out in emails and other channels. Also, you can follow Dan directly at TradeIdeas1. He's kind of fun to follow. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dan.